No one wants to fall, but in the event that you find yourself on the floor, let's talk about some ways that you can safely get yourself back up. Before we get into it, first thing, I am recovering from an infection, so my voice is a little bit hoarse. And two, did you know that almost 72% of people who watch this channel aren't subscribed? Please make sure that if you find value in our content, that you like our videos and you subscribe to our channel. This helps us to continue to grow as a small nonprofit and reach more survivors around the world. All right, let's get into it. So I'm gonna be showing you kind of the method of how to get up. I will start from laying on the floor, and I'm gonna show you this method twice. One, so you can kind of watch, and then two, if you would like to practice along. If you are going to practice, make sure that you have somebody else with you for safety. Okay, so if you find yourself on the floor, you may find that you're on your back, on your stomach, on your side. The goal is going to be to get yourself into a position where you're on all fours near a low sitting surface. So the first thing that you're going to want to do if you find yourself on the floor is to crawl to one of those low, sturdy sitting surfaces. So I've obviously got my chair right here. I'm gonna go ahead and get down on the floor to show you. Let's say that I'm sort of on my back, sort of side lying on my back. Now for the purpose of this video, my left side is going to be my affected side. Right is going to be unaffected, uninvolved. So, like I mentioned, I'm here next to my low sitting surface. My goal is going to be to get up onto all fours. Now, to first do that, you're gonna have to prop yourself up into sort of that side sitting position. So, you're gonna use your unaffected, uninvolved arm in, or sort of like underneath you, and you're gonna try to push up as best as you can, using that arm as leverage to get you up. There you go. All right, so once you're in this position, you're going to try to get into all fours. Now this may take some extra time, so be cautious with this movement. So what you're going to do is try to go ahead and come over. You're gonna try to get up, unaffected leg, let that lead. Good. And then if you have any movement in that other leg, you're gonna try to bring it forward. Good. The goal, like I mentioned, is to get here onto all fours. If you have any ability to move that affected arm, you're gonna wanna put that down. If not, try to ground yourself with the 3 other points of contact that you have. Okay, so now what we're gonna try to do is get as close to this chair as you possibly can, or couch, whatever low sitting surface that you're next to. Now, you're going to try to put that unaffected side up onto the sitting surface, the bottom of that sitting surface. You are bracing yourself here on the chair, and you are going to try to put your weight through your unaffected side. So you are bracing here, your weight shifting onto your unaffected side. I'm sorry, your affected side, but then you want to try to bring up your unaffected leg so that you can therefore go into sort of a pivot standing position. The goal is not to come all the way to standing. The goal is just to get enough lift off so that you can get your butt in the sitting surface, okay? So we're gonna try that. Ready, set, here we go. We're pushing up, pushing down through both leg and arm, unaffected, and then just pivoting over onto the sitting surface. So that's the goal. That's what we're trying to do here. That's where we're trying to get you in the event that you fall on the floor. I am gonna go through that one more time. So I'm gonna get back into position. One thing that I wanna note here, if you have a cell phone, which most people do nowadays, I highly recommend that you keep that cell phone on you at all times. In the event that you fall, you can call someone. That phone is gonna be right there next to you. So quick tip, keep your phone on you all the time. All right, so we're coming back down to that same position, laying down in sort of that side-lying back position. We're next to our sitting surface. So again, I'm just gonna briefly recap this. We're gonna first try to sit up in that side sitting position, right? So you're using the leverage of your unaffected arm to try to come up. So we're pushing up It's gonna require some core strength as well, which I feel like I do not have right now. And then once you're in that side sitting position, just like this, you're gonna try to get up onto all fours, right? Again, like I mentioned before, if you're not able to put weight through your affected hand, that's okay. If you are, try to use that as another point of contact. But if not, you're using the other 3 points of contact that you have. All right, so we're gonna try to swivel around using unaffected side to do most of the heavy lifting here. You're gonna try to bring that affected leg forward a bit, and you're gonna get as close to that sitting surface as you can. So we're getting nice and close here, just kind of taking our time, scooting over. Unaffected arm is going to come up onto the sitting surface. Because remember, we're using unaffected leg and unaffected arm to help push and propel up. So what we're gonna do is try to get that leg up. Unaffected leg is up. And remember, we're not coming all the way up to standing. We're not worried about getting all the way up. We just wanna try to get our butt in the chair. So you're placing your unaffected hand on that sitting surface, and you're going to push through unaffected side to leverage and push yourself up. So we're pushing, and then we're just pivoting our butt around onto the seat. So we're pushing up and just pivoting. So you can see, you know, you're not having to use all of your strength to go from that position where you're on the floor to all the way standing, because that would be a little bit ridiculous. That would be too difficult. So we're just trying to get safely to a sitting surface. As always, I'm going to be leaving a link down in the description if you'd like to sign up for the email list, which also gets you a free copy of my ebook, The Stroke Recovery Pocket Guide. And if you do find value in what we do here at Post Stroke, please consider gifting us, either by giving us a super thanks by clicking in the YouTube bar below, by giving us a one-time donation via PayPal, or by becoming a Patreon member, where in exchange for a monthly donation, you get access to cool perks like social media shoutouts, behind the scenes footage, and even YouTube shoutouts, of which I have one today. Thank you so much, Heather G, for continuing to contribute at the Empower level. We can't do what we do without you. And thank you so much to all of our other Patreon supporters. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.